Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Fangirl with me, Destiny. Episode, I want to say, do we know? Episode 17. 17. Love that. Hey guys, I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks. How's it going? I'm doing poorly, so thank you for asking. My uterus hurts. I'm hurting physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, it's that season. You know, the seasons are changing, and so is my mind. So that's really awesome and cool to think about and discover about myself. It is getting colder outside though, so don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but hey, less sweating, I guess. Yay. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. The last time I talked to you, it was before I went to Nashville for my friend Marlena's bachelorette. So I will be diving into that later, but since I haven't talked to you in about 2 weeks, so there are a couple things I need to get off my chest. One, you guys know I've been watching Dancing with the Stars. And one of my favorites, Lauren Jareggi, she was partnered up with Brandon, and they went home week 3. They went home week 3. That's crazy. That's crazy considering that at this point, we still had Hillary Baldwin. And I do love Andy, I do. But he's an older man and he's not dancing as well as everyone else because the caliber of dancing that we have so far on this season specifically has been so great, and we still have Andy. Now, Andy has the heart, Andy has the soul. Does he have the talent? No. And that's okay. I think next week might be his time. And that's really fine. But guess what? It wasn't Lauren's time. I don't know. I really don't know what went wrong, but I do know what went wrong. Because at the end of the day, and not to make it so serious so quickly, but at the end of the day, everything is about race. And Brandon is a black man. Okay. And Lauren, she's Latina. I don't know specifically from where, but she's also gay. So I feel like that had something to play into it. And at the end of the day, Dancing with the Stars reaches a certain demographic of person. And by that, I mean, probably stay-at-home mothers, majority white. You can put that puzzle piece together. Okay. And it's not just Brandon. It's also Britt. Because Britt went home literally like week 1. Her and her partner, black. It's just not sitting right with my spirit. Because Lauren had such good chemistry with Brandon, and they really have the potential to go very, very far. And I was really excited to see her like blossom. And now that's not happening. So really, Dancing with the Stars, I need you to do like a redemption season. I need a redemption season of all the people that went home too early, who were stripped of that title of being the Dancing with the Stars champion. Hello. And I need y'all to get into it. I really do, because this is getting ridiculous. And I've already seen fan casts like the redemption season, and it sounds great. So if we could add a couple more members in there, that would be awesome. But I really just doesn't sit right with me that Lauren went home week 3. I mean, maybe she didn't have the fan base, but at the same time, I think she was doing She was doing relatively well in the competition, that even if you weren't a fan of her, you were like starting to get to know her. And like I said before, her and Brandon had incredible chemistry. So like, I think that could have like really carried them through a little bit farther, but my voice was not heard in this election. And while we're on the topic of Dancing with the Stars, let me talk about this week. So this week was Disney week, which, wait. By the way, last week was TikTok week, and you would think every week, I'm like, is it going to be like this every time? Because I haven't locked into Dancing with the Stars in a couple years. But I understand that Disney Week was going to be a big advertisement for Disney and Disneyland because Disney owns ABC. Like I knew that was going to be like obvious. I think they have a Disney Week every single time just for the purpose of Disney being able to advertise on the show. That's normal. But the TikTok week, you would think that TikTok was paying them $1 billion for the way that they were advertising this app. It was crazy. It was actually crazy. And wait a second. As I'm speaking this out loud, does ABC have a stake in TikTok? Because I don't know, maybe this is just like my mind kind of reeling, but stick with me here. So 2 of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they're on the show. They got famous because of TikTok. Okay. Alex Earl is on the show. Famous because of TikTok. Okay. And I'm drawing the conclusion, the new Bachelorette, Taylor Frankie Paul, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, who got famous on TikTok. You see the diagram that I'm drawing right now? I feel like there's someone else on TikTok that's on the show, but I could be wrong about that. Unsure. And during the show, they're always on TikTok Live to show behind the scenes. I'm thinking somebody somewhere in the ABC realm has a stake in TikTok. Now that wouldn't that make sense? Because I'm telling you, week 3, the TikTok episode, they were talking about TikTok like you've never heard what it was. Like you didn't, I mean, I'm sure there are some viewers who don't really understand TikTok, so I understand like trying to explain it. But then like they brought Charlie D'Amelio back to like dance a little bit. And like, I don't know. I don't even think she danced with Mark, which I'm like, what was the point of Charlie coming back if she wasn't going to dance with Mark a little bit? Like do a little 1-2. She danced with the troupe. She danced with the people who were eliminated. Something's not adding up now that I'm saying this. So maybe we should work that out, ABC. I don't know. I need some answers. I would like some answers. And speaking of big tech, this is all like what made me unhinge for the past 2 weeks, by the way. Speaking of big tech, I want to talk about, this is going to sound like so boring and adult, but like this is life. I want to talk about my energy bill because my utilities are not included in this apartment. So I'm paying that sucker on the side. My utilities this summer have actually reached an all-time high. And I was feeling very vindicated because I went on TikTok like a couple weeks ago, and I am not the only person in DC with extremely high energy bills. Like I can't even imagine if I was in a home. Okay, my apartment is literally a studio. It's about 400 something square feet. And tell me why. I think it was the month of, I want to say either July or June, somewhere in between there, or maybe August. I don't know. My energy bill was $183. $183. Okay. Now, to compare it, last year, or maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, my energy bill was running around like, I want to say about $80. $80 in the summer. Okay, I know that air is pumping. 80, maybe it got up to 100 something. 100 something. I'll give it 110 max. But I remember distinctly at one point my energy bill was running around like $60 to $80 a month. Okay, no big deal, no problem. $183? Mind you, the apartment that I had prior was bigger. Now, I don't know if square footage has something to do with it, but I feel like it does. So tell me, how does that make sense? How am I paying less for an apartment to have more energy, using more energy in a bigger space than this one right now? I'll wait. I'll wait. Because that makes no damn sense. I think even last month I paid like 160 something. I'm like, oh my God. So, and the thing, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm usually in here with the lights off because I'm like, I'm scarred. Like I'm sitting here with the lights off because I can't do it anymore. So that was really fun. And I called Pepco because I'm like, something's off. Pepco is my energy, whatever. That's who I pay my energy bill to. I called Pepco. I said, something's wrong. Like something must be wrong because there's no way that we got here. How did we get here? So the Pepco woman, she's like, oh yeah, well, we did go up on our rate for energy recently. And I was like, okay. Turns out, which I found out through TikTok, thank you. The only reason that the rate that I'm paying for energy is going up, one of the main reasons is because big tech is coming into DC, and all of these, like, I don't even know what to properly call them, but the centers where the AI bots are, where it's using all of the fucking energy. It's using all of the energy in DC, and I am paying for it. I'm paying for you to use ChatGPT to ask, is this poison? Is this rash going to kill me? That's what I'm paying for. Right. I'm not saying I've never used ChatGPT. That would be a lie. Do I use it regularly? No. When was the last time I used it? I have absolutely no idea. But that's what I'm paying for. Because big tech wants to roll into DC. Totally. So that is a reason why my energy bill has gone up. And then also when I was on the phone with Pepco, mind you, dead of summer. I think I called in August or what is it? It's October now. I think I called in August. Dead of summer. Mind you, I'm living in a swamp. Okay, DC is a swamp in the summer. I did not know what hot was until I got here. Like, obviously, since I'm originally from Illinois, like, it would be hot a couple months out of the year, but most of the time it's pretty cold. Well, now it's like a little different because, hey, global warming, but you get what I'm saying. We didn't really have humid nights. It wasn't that humid. Here, oh, baby, I'm dripping of sweat. I'm dripping of sweat on my 10-minute walk from the metro. Like, you would think that I am actually a puddle, and no, every ounce of water is out. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, it gets so hot here. So obviously, I'm not that crazy because I do get cold very quickly. So I usually keep my air at from 70 to 72 in the summer. That's how I like to feel comfortable. Some people put it to 69, some people put it to 65. I'm not like that. I'm not doing that. That's too cold. I'm shivering at that point. So I'm keeping my air at 70 to 72, but mainly like 70 in the summer. I call Pepco. I'm like, something's wrong. They're like, no, it's actually this, and this. And they're like, well, one way, we do have some tips to kind of alleviate some of that stress and to lower those energy usage. And one of those reasons, or one of those things that she's telling me, she goes, we recommend that you put your AC to 78. In the summer. She goes, I know that might be a little much, but we recommend to get those energy levels down, to get that air to 78. Right. Now, Deborah, why would you say that to me? 78? I might as well put the heat on. I might as well just put the heat on and call it a day. Let's actually make it a sauna up in here. Why don't I just pay for a sauna at that rate? 78? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Get out of your mind. Are you stupid? Yeah, when she said that, I wanted to hang up on her. I wanted to hang up on her because I thought she was actually going to give me some tips and tricks. And she's like, put that air to 78. Oh. Pepco will burn. Pepco will burn if I'm behind it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so hating big tech right now. Hating big tech right now. Another thing that I do want to talk about. So I think I talked about this last week, but I turned 27. I re-download Hinge, as one does. And I don't go on Hinge very often, honestly. I'm not putting in that work like I should be. Or you know, whatever. I don't check my Hinge that often, mainly because I took it off of my home screen because every time I looked at it, I wanted to barf. And I don't have notifications on. So it's really whenever I kind of think about it and I'm like, oh, let me check. So that's what I do. But the other day, it had been like maybe a week or two since I had checked it. So I'm going through my likes and I'm noticing a pattern here. Okay, I usually notice a pattern, but this one was very evident this time. I had about 9 likes, okay? Nothing major. Actually pretty low if you ask me, which is whatever. Not going to get into that. But I was going through my Hinge likes and I'm not kidding. 8 out of the 9 were Christian. Derogatory Christian. I want to know because on my profile, I don't have anything that says I'm a Christian. Nothing of the sort. And I literally had to check. I went back to my settings and I checked. I was like, do I have something on my profile? No, I don't. So what I want to know, what is it about me that screams that is attracting the Christians? What is it about me that screams Christian girl? Is it my face? Is it the way I dress? Is it the aura I'm giving off? Is it the answers that I'm giving on my prompts? What is it? Because there's no way that 8 out of the 9 Hinge likes that I had were Christian men. Again, Christian men, derogatory. Like what? That I was shocked. I was shocked. Why is that? And maybe I'll never know. So just had to let that one out because what the hell? I don't. I'm not really vibing with that. I'm not doing that right now. So I just, maybe if they were hot, I would give them a chance. Like, whatever. So that was awesome and cool. I might just delete my Hinge at this point because what the hell? Okay. One last thing that is actually very topical at this point. Today's Friday that I'm filming this. And I've been screaming about one of the members from Twice, the K-pop group, Nayeon. She always has the best songs. Like all of her music is literally iconic and quintessential pop music. It's also very summer music. But there was a song that she performed. I don't know where they were, but they like performed solo songs that were not released. And I have been screaming for months. Her song was called Me. And there's like this, I've like tried to memorize the choreography to it and everything. I'm like, this is incredible. And I've been screaming at the top of my lungs to JYP, please release Me. Like, please. I need that now. And I finally got it. I just about jumped for joy this morning when I looked at my Spotify this morning. Say this morning one more time. So that was awesome. And that's all I have to share about that because I love that song. And I was just talking about to myself, how I haven't really been like a K-pop comeback has not like grabbed me by the neck in a long time. And this one did. So thank you, Twice. You're always going to be those girls. Like, not the one, but the two. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Anyway, let's recap Nashville. Why don't we? Nashville was so much fun. I feel like, I don't know if I've said this before, but in another life, I swear to God, I was raised in the South. I feel like that's truly where my roots belong. And maybe that's like historical. I don't want to get into that because like I really don't know. As a Black woman, I don't know. Maybe I did come from the South. I don't know. But I really feel at home down there. Like, that is home. I really do. I really do. And I don't know. I mean, I would consider Nashville the South. I don't know if your geographical map, what you would consider the South, but I'm considering Nashville the South because they're Southern. I don't know. But the trip overall was like so much fun. Shout out to Marlena. I mean, she actually didn't plan it. So shout out to Helena for planning that, which is Marlena's maid of honor. I just feel like I've been to Nashville before, but the activities this time around were just like right up my alley. And like, I know Marlena had a great time, but I was having the best time. So let me just take you day by day. So I got in on a Friday. Me and one other person, Preet. Hey, Preet, if you're listening or watching. We both got in around the same time. We got in a little bit later than everyone else. So we Ubered to the Airbnb. We said hello. I met everyone. Again, I was a little nervous because like, obviously I only knew Marlena, but everyone ended up being really nice and like, just like really cool people, which I should have known because like, if your friends, like if your friend is cool, like your friends are going to be cool. You know what I mean? But again, I was freaking out over nothing. But yay. So on Friday we got in, we had pizza, we got ready, and Friday was line dancing night. I had never been line dancing before, but I definitely gotten a lot of TikToks in the past. I'm starting to talk. I feel like I'm starting to talk with a southern twang. Sorry. I'm going to try to talk normal. But I can't. I'm just thinking about Nashville and I just want to throw a little twist into it. I've never been line dancing before, but I have seen TikToks of people line dancing, and I actually learned the flex line dance from, I don't know if this might have just, I don't think this is just my For You page, but I'm going to try to describe the TikTok that I'm thinking about. I don't know where these men were from, but they were line dancing to a song called Flex. Flex. Come on, flex. Back it up. Then turn to the left. That one, if you're familiar with my gist, there were these three men who were coming up on my For You page, and they were dancing to the song. They seemed like homies, you know, like they seemed tight. But the way that they were dancing with each other, I'm like, this is it. They were like grabbing each other's waists and they were like shaking their asses. And I'm like, this is the content that I want to see personally. Three men shaking their ass and holding each other tightly. And the eye contact that they were giving, like, I'm not kidding. Go on TikTok and search up flex line dance. And I don't know, like, not boys, like men, like, you'll find it. I promise you, you will find them dancing to that damn song because it was iconic. It broke records in my house. I was just obsessed with watching them dance and watching them dance together. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. So I actually learned the flex line dance from them because I obviously watched that video way too many times. So being able to being able to do that, to line dance in the South was just like, I was so excited. And so we did that. We were there for a good hot minute. And I don't know why sometimes I don't know what, it doesn't matter. But also, I also knew a different line dance to Shivers by Ed Sheeran, which there's a line dance to every single song. Any song that you may be thinking of, there's a line dance to it. And I'm into that. I really am into that. But there is a line dance to Shivers, and I knew that prior, but I kind of forgot about it because I learned it a while ago. Again, it was one of those things where I saw it on my For You page, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn that, and I did. And then I tucked it away. But then when I heard the doom doom doom, I ascended into the heavens, put my drink down, and I ran to the dance floor. I'm like, you have got to be kidding! And you know what was crazy? Was they played Shivers, and then right after that, they played Flex. You would have thought, I literally was on cloud 9. You would have thought I hit the lottery. I was sweating my ass off, but I was having the best time. Also, line dancing is so tiring. All of those people who were just like twirling, and going, like the muscles that they have, wow. Wow. And I learned a couple other ones while I was there. Like I was trying to like catch on to a couple, and that was really fun. But I had my boots on. And they played the boots on the ground one. Oh, I needed a fan. I needed a fucking fan. But that was so much fun. And it just awakened something in me that I'm like, I actually need to go line dancing every weekend. I need to be dipped like I've never been dipped before. It's truly, and I feel like I'm not going to find one in DC because, hey, it's DC. But I just really want to go line dancing again so badly. It was so much fun. So much freaking fun. So we did that on Friday. And then on Saturday, we went to brunch. I don't even know what that place is called. But it's the famous place where they have like the big head of Dolly Parton on the rooftop. And the roof is really pretty. It starts with a G. We went there, and then we kind of chilled at night. We were like all kind of really exhausted because we were dancing all night. So we like took a nap, chilled out for a bit at the Airbnb, and then we had reservation for the drag bus. That actually, it was even better because we had the bus all to ourselves. There was like a group of 11 of us. So we had the bus all to ourselves. And it was a drag show on a bus. Mind you, this is my very first drag show that I've ever been to. So I was so freaking excited because I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I love everything about drag. And I love drag queens. So we did that, and it was so much fun. Like, the drag queens were doing tricks on the bus. I'm like, okay, work. They were so funny, so nice. I'm like, this is heaven, guys. Like, this is heaven. Also, mind you, this is also my first time having a beatbox. Hey, guys, those are crazy. And the prices of the drinks that we got on the bus, unthinkable. I got a beatbox for $8. $8. Now, mind you, the beatboxes that I had were about 8%. And it takes a lot for me to get there, but it got me there. And I was forever grateful for that because I needed that. Yeah, I needed that. So that was really fun and cool. I was going to say something else, but yeah, I had 2 beatboxes and I only purchased 1 seltzer. Oh my gosh, wait, now I'm thinking about all the drinks. Thinking about the drinks I had on Saturday, and it's actually all making sense because after the drag bus, we went out on Broadway. We went to a couple bars. We went to, Marlena wanted to for sure go to the Miranda Lambert bar, which is actually like a club. I loved it. But now it's all making sense because once we got back home, which, can I say something? I don't remember the car ride back home. And there's a picture of me. There's a group picture of me. And I don't remember it being taken. But thankfully I look fine. But I do not remember it being taken. So don't remember the car ride home. And don't remember going to bed that night. I do not remember going to bed that night because I woke up at 4 a.m. still in my glittery dress, sleeping on the opposite side of what I was sleeping on the night prior. Makeup on. So I had a real good time. Had a real good time on that one. No, let me think about okay, so, okay, so one of the drinks that Marlena likes to make are porn star martinis. Basically just like a guava martini. They're really, really good. And she's very good at making them. So we had one of those at the Airbnb beforehand, before the bus. And then me personally, I had 2 shots of tequila, which is another thing during this trip. I realized that I can't take a shot of tequila without feeling like a baby, because normally if I'm taking a shot, I'm like, I'm about to gag. I'm about to throw up actually, or I just won't do it, or I just will not take a shot at all. But this time around, I'm like, no, let's man up. I got to get there. So I got to do what I got to do. So I did that. I took 2 shots of tequila, the porn star martini, and then we got to the drag bus. We had to get there like 45 minutes early. Don't know why, but there was a bar in there, so I had a Dirty Shirley. And then, like I mentioned, I originally only purchased 1 beatbox and 1 seltzer. The bus is like 2 hours long. So I'm like, okay, we're going to make a bathroom break, stop. I can get some more alcohol if I need to. But I got the beatbox, the seltzer. At the point of the halfway point of the bus, I had only drinking the beatbox. And so I'm like, I gotta start making some waves. So I put in that fucking work. I got another beatbox. I purchased another beatbox. I had another seltzer, and then I found a seltzer in like there was like a ice bath of drinks, and there was a drink left from, I guess, a bus prior of another seltzer, which it was closed. Okay, I'm not crazy. It was a closed seltzer. So I'm like, you're coming home with me. So I drank that. So I drank all 4 of those drinks in the duration of the party bus. And then from there on, I know for sure we went to another bar to get food. I think I did get a drink at that bar, maybe like a vodka lemonade. And then I want to say once we got to Miranda Lambert, I also got a drink. I don't know if it was a seltzer or hard liquor, but it was something. So it actually does make sense of why I kind of blacked out and don't remember going to bed in my dress. Nonetheless, I had a great time. And then on Sunday, what did we do Sunday? Oh, Sunday we went to, we had like a hotel pool. Kind of a cabana. We had like a little section of whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But the point of me saying that is we were like, obviously we were chilling, but at the end we were like gathering our stuff. We're getting ready to go. Someone says, oh, did someone leave their glasses, like their sunglasses down there? I was like, oh, I don't think so, but let me pick them up and see. I pick up the glasses. They're Prada glasses. Prada sunglasses? Now, mind you, they might be fake, but did I take them? Yes. Of course I did. Come on. So got some Prada sunglasses. Yay. And then that night we went to an incredible sushi place. We walked in there and I immediately felt like I was transported to LA because the decor in there, insane. Like just the layout of it all. I'm like, this is not Nashville. Like this is crazy. We did that on Sunday. Our waiter, Uzi. No, that's a member of 17. Uji. That's how he said his name. He was great. He was actually like a highlight of the trip. He was so nice. He was so personable. He was like so helpful. And honestly, we were like, it was way too nice of a restaurant. It wasn't like way too nice of a restaurant for us to not be there, but like we were sectioned off in like this little room. So it felt separate from the rest of the restaurant, obviously, but like it just felt like we were like just having like a family dinner, and he would like come in and out just to, like check on us. And the points of the conversation that we were having that he would come in and out of, it's just like, I was like, there There was a point where I just had the giggles and I would not stop laughing. I was crying because it was just like insane to what he had to witness us like talk about. So sorry for him, but he was incredible. Oh, also, at the end of the dinner, I was like, oh, I think I want dessert. Like I want a little sweet treat. And so they had mochi and I'm like, yeah, let me get the mochi because I think there was like a passion fruit one, vanilla, and like some other, or cookies and cream flavor. Not me remembering the flavors, okay? It was vanilla, cookies and cream, and passion fruit. And so anytime I hear passion fruit, I'm like, you're coming home with me. So I was like, yes, let me get that. And he's like, no problem. He comes back a little bit after and he was like, we don't have the mochi. It's not frozen. I was like, oh. So he ended up getting the brookie instead, which was honestly fantastic. And he gave it to me for free because the mochi wasn't frozen. And he's like, you can have any other dessert you want for free. Hey, that's what I call service. So he got a big old fat tip from me. Anyway, Nashville was great. I had a great time. I need to go back. Desperately need to go back. I want to take everybody that I've ever known to Nashville. Now I'm talking about this. Maybe I'll do Nashville for one of my birthdays, one of my big birthdays, you know? Could be fun. Nashville in September. Oh, yeah. We went at the end of September. It's fine. Okay, great. Perfect. Done. I want to talk about Renee Rapp because I recently went to her show on Monday as I'm filming this. And oh my God, I actually can't stop thinking about this show because I've seen Renee a couple times. Oh my God, that was my 4th time seeing her, technically, because I saw her the first time she was at the Anthem here in DC. She performed at Lollapalooza, which I definitely forgot about. And then when I went to Pride to go see Troye Sivan, she did Leave Me Alone. And every single time I see Renee, it's always been like a great time. She is an incredible vocalist. She has those Broadway roots, but there was just like, I don't want to say something missing, but it was just kind of like, it was good. But this time around, my jaw was on the ground. It was absolutely incredible. It's like a flip kind of switched in her brain. And she's like, wait a second. I am that girl. I can do any single note that I ever could think of. And I'm going to show everybody here why they purchased a ticket. Like, I mean, from her singing Shy in 4 different octaves, that right there, because I had seen a TikTok of somebody, okay, this might be niche, but there's a gospel song that goes, and we will praise you for the rest of our days. And it keeps going like up an octave. And it's like, yes, Lord. And then it goes like, yes. Am I explaining that correctly? Am I explaining that in a way that you might understand? Basically, it's a gospel song where you think it ends and then they just go, yes. And it goes up an octave every single time. I think that was a better way of explaining it. And somebody put that song and they're like, when Renee Rapp performed Shy at her concert. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I liked it, but I didn't understand what that meant because I hadn't seen any clips of her doing that. Literally, she did the exact same thing. She did the exact same thing with Shy. She kept going up octaves. I kept looking around the arena like I was being filmed. Like, is anybody else hearing and seeing what is happening in our midst? Mind you, this was like 15 minutes into the show. I'm like, she's going bonkers right now. And she was, I can't even put it into words. She was hitting notes when she was laying down. Like, and mind you, after the fact, she put out a TikTok that was like, when you have to perform when you have a fever. She had a fever. She had a fever and she was singing like that. It literally, I don't know who said what to her, but like she realized that she is a Broadway star and has the singing capabilities of one. And she's like, let me show y'all everything that I could ever do ever. I mean, the runs that she was doing was, I have no word. I have no words. Also, the stage production was so much better. She was dancing. She had a camera on stage with her. I mean, the productions of these shows nowadays are just getting better and better, and I am loving every single second. Because even though I could see her, oh my God, I didn't even talk about, wait, hold on. Even though I could see her with my eyes on the stage, I was still looking at that screen because the production was, it was working. It was working. Also, about this show, me and my friends, Maria and Joe, we all had lawn seats, right? Because it was one of those places where they have the pavilion and then they have the lawn where you can like, get cheaper seats and you can just chill out. So we all had lawn seats, and me being the nosy person that I am, I was fine just like chilling on the lawn. I wasn't really pressed, but honestly, I'm glad that it worked out this way. But we were waiting for our friends, Teresita, Mirinda, and like all of their friends to come. But there was this group of people in front of us, and I overheard them talking about how they were like, yeah, they were basically talking about how they were able to get upgraded for free to get like seats. And I was like, So I text Maria and Joe just so I wouldn't like say it out loud. And I was like, I told them what they did. And they're like, okay, let's try that. And so once our friends came here, we were like, we're just going to like go to the box office and like walk around or whatever. So we go to the box office, and what they did worked for us. And I was like, guys, we have seats. Turns out we were in the 14th row. Free upgrade. I literally never kill yourself. I'm serious. It was insane. And then we obviously told our friends who we were with about this. And so they also did it, and they were also able to get seats. It was incredible. One last thing I do have to say about Renee Rapp and just like concerts in general. I put in my notes, I said something has shifted in her world and I need more of it. Because here's the thing, Renee is so R&B coded. It's actually crazy. And I know she surrounds I know her friend group is so like eclectic, and her influences are just incredible. And I need more R&B Renee Rapp. Okay, I understand that the base that we have might not really understand it, but trust me, girl, you will get the people that you need. You will get the people that you need in your corner. I'm serious, because her voice is made for it. She's insane. Okay, but I do have a pet peeve about concerts in general, and I was seeing this at Renee, and I was like, we must stop this. But the people who now I'm all for recording at concerts. Okay, I don't think that like you should be recording and making those memories for sure. But the thing that I don't like is when people like record entire songs. And again, I've recorded entire songs or two. Every now and then it just happens. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually can't stop recording right now because I need to remember this. But the people who record every single song, the whole song, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. And I promise you it's not. Because I mean, I sometimes I go back in my videos and watch the recordings that I do at concerts, because sometimes they're funny or sometimes there's a moment that I want to remember. But when you're recording an entire song, I'm talking every single song, you're doing the entire thing. That's when we have to back it up and go. I need you to put that phone down, because I promise you, there are some things that you will remember and you need to take in that moment for yourself. But just put down that phone. this is kind of going back to the hinge of it all, but it's not really going back to that. But I think this story is kind of funny in retrospect because one, I had no idea what was going on at the time. And two, I really blacked this out of my memory and it only like just recently came back. So I thought I would share it. So when I first moved to DC, I'm like sick telling the story. Oh my God. Okay. When I first moved to DC, I didn't know anybody here. Like I didn't have family here. My sister has a friend who lives like in Virginia, but that was like the only connection that I had out here. So, obviously I wanted to make friends, maybe, find a significant other, doing the things that adults do. And so I'm at, my first job and there's this guy. Let's call him Brady. So Brady is like the person, like that is the go-to person that you go to for questions. That was the person at my job. Brady always had the answer. He was the person who would like onboarded you. He was just like the go-to person. So obviously me being me, and I've mentioned this before, me being me, I'm like, oh, you're talking to me. You must like me. You must have a crush on me. And I've always been this way. This is like years ago. And so Brady's obviously a very nice human. Like it is his job to be nice to the new employees. And so I'm like, you want me so bad. Not really, but you understand what I'm saying. And so I decide one day that I'm going to be bold because literally the thought of having a crush on Brady was like actually making me sick. So I decide to be bold and ask for his number, right? Whoa, that's actually, I had never done that before. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a risk. I'm in a new city. Like, fuck it, we ball. I don't care. So it's at the end of the workday one day. And I go up to Brady and I was like, hey, I was just wondering if I said something like, I was just wondering if I could get your number. So like maybe we could grab a drink sometime. It wasn't me asking him on a date, but it was like, obviously maybe I was hoping it would be like a friendship step, but obviously I wanted it to be more than a friendship step. So I said something of that sort. And he goes, yeah, of course. I give him my phone. He's typing it in. And then I walk away. I'm feeling so vindicated. I'm feeling so like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. I'm on a high. I'm literally on the highest high I've ever felt. I go and I look. And he gives me his iCloud email. He gave me his iCloud email. There is no number to be seen. He gave me his iCloud email. At the time, I was like, oh, that's no problem. Like, oh, that's no problem at all. Like, no big deal. It's going to reach him either way. No. So just say like you hate me. Just say you hate me. That's totally fine. No big deal. So yeah, I blacked that out for obvious reasons. Oh my gosh, I actually missed a crucial part of the story, but there was another person who had just started as well. And Brandon and her were getting a little close. And I was obviously like sick to my stomach just thinking about like them getting close and like we're not getting close. And so I think that's what prompted me to start getting bolder. Because I'm like, let me just like try to put myself out there. So that obviously did not work. And lo and behold, Brandon and the other girl did end up hooking up multiple times. So wasn't meant to be. Yay. But yeah, I blacked that out for obvious reasons because that's fucking embarrassing. And that is the last time that I've ever tried to get someone's number, because I don't know, maybe I'll feel bold one day again and do it again. But like, obviously that's like traumatizing, but a little funny. Okay, next we're moving on to my palette. I was thinking the other day, because I do think that my palette is getting more mature as I start to age, which is obviously very exciting. I still feel like I do have the palette of maybe, I used to say like a 5-year-old, but now I'm thinking maybe 10 years old. You know, we're kind of stepping it up. So I feel like I do still have the palette of a child, but I do feel like I'm starting to get there, but I also still hate vegetables. Like, I hate carrots. I like broccoli, but I can't remember the last time I've had broccoli. You know, maybe I'll eat a string bean, but it has to be like my mom's string beans, which also I don't like fresh string beans because I didn't grow up on fresh string beans. Like my family, aka my mom, she always made us canned string beans. So I'm used to that canned texture. Okay, I'm not used to that crunchy shit. Like, I need a canned string bean, which, hey, might sound gross to you, but the way my mom did it, you would never know. That those were seasoned, okay? So I don't like fresh vegetables like that. Not really into a cauliflower unless it's like hidden in there. Not really a big fan of a sweet potato. I feel like they're a little too sweet, which is crazy for me because I love a sweet treat. But I'm like, it's a potato, should not be sweet. So that's also hard for me to digest. But it's stuff like that. It's like, I still really don't mess with that. Like a Brussels sprout, don't even come near me. Don't even come near me. I'm serious. And my friends the other day were talking about how it's soup season because it is getting hot, not hotter. It's getting colder outside. And, you know, I really do wish I loved soup, but I was thinking about it and I was breaking it down. I'm like, why don't I like soup? But soup is usually just a vessel for vegetables and broth. I'm not down for that. It's just a vessel for vegetables. I mean, maybe there's a noodle in there somewhere. Maybe there's a chicken in there sometimes, but no. And soup can also be a vessel for a grilled cheese, which I don't mind that. I don't mind a grilled cheese tomato type beat we got. But then once my grilled cheese is gone, I have to just eat the tomato soup. I'm not down for that. I don't like tomatoes unless it's a vessel for the grilled cheese. But with all that being said, there are a couple foods that I am liking now. One of those being sushi. And when I say sushi, I really just mean like any sushi that does not have raw fish on it, but it can have shrimp. If it has shrimp, it's okay with me. But if we're doing like a tuna, if we're doing a salmon, we're not doing that actually. I still can't do that. I still can't get over that. Although the other time I went to go get sushi, I had like a scallop type of situation. I'm pretty sure the scallops were raw. So if I didn't think about it too much, it wasn't that bad, but it still really freaked me out. So we're doing sushi, but only shrimp-based rolls. A shrimp tempura, if you will. But I also just started liking cucumbers, which has now progressed into me liking pickles. I've always liked the taste of a pickle, but not like the actual pickle. Like the act of me biting into a pickle, not really down for that. But the flavor, I've always been into that. Because I used to go to Chick-fil-A and be like, at first I was like, take the pickles off, like fully. But then I used to ask for the sandwich regularly, but then I would take the pickles off myself so that I could have the flavor on the bun. But now I'm starting to like them actually. So like if I have them on a burger, I won't pull them off. Or sometimes I'll even pick one up and eat it straight up. So that's fun. Also, I've started to like onions and things. really liking an onion ring, liking an onion string, liking an onion, a blooming onion, if you will. That's good. An onion, the other day I had onions on a pizza. Caramelized onion on a pizza, that was pretty good. Down for that. Also on that pizza with the onion, there were mushrooms on it. The verdict is still out on if I even really liked it. I do think I dealt with it because of the truffle of it all and because it was pizza, so it was just bread and cheese. I don't think I could get down with the mushroom on its own, but it wasn't that bad. So that's really fun. So yeah, I'll keep y'all updated on foods that I like and dislike, but those are just a couple. I think that is where I'm going to end the episode. That's where I'm going to end it off. Well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. I hope you have the courage to go ask your crush for his number, and maybe, just maybe, he'll actually give it to you and not an iCloud email. So with that, I gotta go. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.